7-yard line. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. The tackle made there by Tack McKinley.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. He'll look to throw. This is Johnson. He's got it. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Escaping the... And a big loss here as he's taken down. Tack McKinley in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Gone, 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 gone. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Pointing it to the right side, Johnson. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Gone, 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 gone. No.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Buying time, and the pressure gets to him again. Bud Dupree in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Detroit! Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Gone, 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 gone.
They'll drop to throw. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Opening drive fumble, and the 4 miscues that they had last week. 4 turnovers, Charles. So this is a bad trend.
And, Brandon, you and I both know that they didn't just ignore what happened last week. They focused on it, tried to get better. And when it happens here again in this game, the head coach is going to see that as a direct reflection on his message to the team, and it's not sinking in.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hey, over.
Following the fumble recovery, Watson forced out to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
To throw on second is Watson. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Throwing on third down, Watson being chased out left. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And now here come the Ravens. They got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up.
And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
He rifles one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he'll bring this all the way up to the 45-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Malik Jefferson in there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally.
Faking the give. Now Watson. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Watson now on third down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we've heard it once, we've heard it 1,000 times. Don't throw late down the middle.
And he did. We see the end result.
Yeah, what you have to do is you've got to make sure you manipulate those defenders with your eyes and your head, maybe even some body movement to move them a little if you're going to come back late down the middle.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12. Back to throw here. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a 1st down. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the 1st down sticks are, and get there.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15.
Detroit!
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Steelers on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. A shotgun snap for Watson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and just like that, it's 3rd down. Now back to throw. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Give him 8 yards on the play, and they pick up the first.
Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Baltimore after this.
Lucky 56. Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because
at all.
those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. And did it get there? Yes. Boy, he didn't get much of that at all. He tucked it just between the crossbar and the left upright. And the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal. So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon. Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Watson. Hard throw, incomplete. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down. But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right? Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers. Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Dancing to his left. In trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone. And he's brought down all the way back in the end zone. My goodness, that's going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Ooh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach! Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Steps away to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
Detroit! Detroit!
Third and long, it's Watson. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Steelers send out their punter now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Had his hands on it, but dropped it. The rookie making a little bit of a rookie mistake. Third down. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Detroit! Detroit! Over, 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 over! All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
to throw. He's going to look deep down the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Freeman again. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On 3rd down, that's Freeman. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And with that, the lead changes hands here in this 3rd quarter. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the Ravens taking the field. Losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. He's got a man complete. And he will finally be taken down, but not before he reaches the 38. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Detroit!
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Eluding the pressure right. On the crossing route, complete. That's Johnson. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A very solid gain of 27. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
They'll He'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And with that, they move ahead by a point here in this 3rd quarter. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
This fielded at the 2. Spins by. Now a hit and a loose football. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. Back now in Baltimore. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. He'll start by running the option to right. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So a pretty big 3rd down mistake right there.
No doubt about it, and everyone's going to be upset. But they have to get out of this now and go ahead and play. They could have someone come at them in a big way on the next down.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. And he'll give it here to his running back. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole...
Oh, no, he lost the football. And it looks like Steeler football. It is.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief. Because a lot of guys will look at the scoreboard and go, this thing's pretty well done. But they still thought to themselves, if we can make a play, we give our teammates a chance to win it. And that's exactly what they did.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19! Gone, gone! Gone, gone!
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down. Now a play fake here on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Cross. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. An excellent pickup at 34 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Watson off play action. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A very solid gain of 27.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Forced out to his left. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the 4th quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. They'll try the air now with Watson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I don't think we'll have to look very hard to find our play of the game. That was an absolutely monstrous big play right there. Backs to the wall. The offense has it in the red zone, driving for the winning score. And he says, not on my watch. And that is one happy bunch on the sidelines.
And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Gone! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
This is Freeman. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. Back to throw. Being chased out left. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the offense will get this one back. Boy, that could have been catastrophic at this late stage of the game, but they avoid disaster.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. This pass rush, they've been excellent all game long, and another example of it right there in the closing moment.
Not only with the pass rush, but how well they're coached, because if you don't quite get there, get to the quarterback, get your hands up into the passing lane and knock it away, as we just saw there.
Watch him now, Barney, Barney. Watch him now, Barney, Barney.
Desperation time. Watson on fourth down. Escaping the pressure right. Now a desperate. They've got his man. Complete. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. First down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Back to throw. Room to run inside the 40. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And down right around the 37. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Now a carry from Mack. And he'll be taken down at the 34. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play. The Steelers on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now it all comes down to Chandler Catanzaro. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now it all comes down to Chandler Catanzaro. He made his only attempt earlier. This for the win. And his kick here is good. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. He hasn't missed a kick all year. Why would he start now?
That's a great question, isn't it? Well, maybe because that was the most nerve-wracking kick he had to attempt all year. But he knocked it through just like it was an easy chip shot.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the